Hi students, Dr. Cohen here. This is a discussion of what is required for Module 3. I wanted to first say, to be sure, after reviewing your Module 2, several of you lost points because you put your initial discussion in late. Make sure that you use the course schedule and not the closing date for the discussion for the due date for the initial post. It's due 24 hours before the response post. The reason is that way everybody has someone to respond to. If they were both due on the same day, sometimes what can happen is people don't post till the last minute, then you've got nobody to respond to. So the secret of this is to pay attention to the course schedule, like this, and not the closing date for the discussions. So if you lost points in your last discussion, that would be why. Okay, so let's see. I wanted to go over, starting out going over the assignment for the module. Let's do that. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so for the Module 3 assignment, it is basically an assignment where you're going to read some materials about a policy debate in gerontology, and then you're going to write a paper that explains both one side of the argument and the other side of the argument, and then your views on the argument. So pay attention. You can choose any one of these policy debate questions. So should people have the choice to end their own lives? And that could be yes, they should, no, they shouldn't. Should people be protected from their own bad choices? Yes or no. Now, so you've got several of them, and I'll show you on Folio in a minute where the readings are that you can use to draw from. Do use the readings and not some kind of Google search, or especially not your own opinions, at least on the first two parts of it. So you're going to read you're going to select a policy question, you're going to do the reading, and then you're going to answer the question according to each of the answers in parentheses. And I only say that because, see, for instance, here, should age or need be the basis for entitlement for government programs? So the two sides are age should be the basis and need should be the basis. If you do the reading, it'll help you to understand the two sides of the debate. So you're going to articulate one side view of how they would answer the question, and then the opposite side. So for instance, you might say, is retirement obsolete? Well, yes, it is. People, for instance, you might say people can no longer afford to retire, that we need workers in the workforce. Draw from the reading, but that's it. And then, is retirement obsolete? No, it's not. People still will want to leave the workforce, still deserve to leave the workforce. Okay. And then the last part is telling me about your own views. Now, your own views don't have to be a yes or no, or, you know, a dichotomous thing. It can be, well, in some ways, I think retirement is obsolete and here's why. And in some ways, I think that it's not obsolete and here's why. So this is all about your opinion, and it doesn't have to be a yes or a no. Okay. All right, so as with all assignments, be sure to follow the grading rubric when you're preparing to do your writing. I do a really clear rubric here, so you can see, for instance, three facts from the reading that support one side of the view, and then 3 facts from the reading that support the other side of the view, and then your opinion. And then I look at things like mechanics, so punctuation, spelling, grammar, those kinds of things. And then also I'm going to want an introduction and a conclusion. So you're going to want to write an introduction, you know, here's my topic, here's what I'm going to be doing, and a conclusion, here's kind of what I learned from the assignment, here's how my views are different from, you know, what I read in the book, that kind of thing. And then make sure that you submit only Word documents, so no PDF files. And that's because your papers go through an originality check, and it is easier for me to observe that. So what I end up doing if you submit a PDF file is I then have to convert it to a Word document in order to be able to complete the grading. So I'm kind of, you know, we're into module 3 at this point. If you've been submitting PDFs, please stop doing that and make sure you submit a Word document. All right, let me stop the, let me stop the sharing and just show you what is provided on the folio site for the class. So you can see here is the assignment instructions, which I just went over. And then here are the readings from which you're going to draw content to answer the 2 sides of the debate. And so you have each of the readings, so you can download it, read it off of, you know, from the folio site, whatever you need to do. But these are the readings from which you're going to draw the responses. Okay, let me now go over the discussion. So for your discussion, you're going to discuss ways that your social support system is similar and different from that of an older adult. So you're going to need to kind of think about, what would an older adult's network look like? What does your network look like? For instance, an older adult probably does not still have parents in their networks, probably do not have grandparents in their network, those kinds of things. So who do they rely on? For instance, for those of you that are still that are not married, it may be that older adults, for instance, have a spouse, or the spouse may be deceased. So how does this look different? It requires 250 words. And then your response is to look at another student where you had some similarities between what you and they posted, and then just respond to that. And I'll just put one more plug in to remind you that your initial post is due 24 hours before the response post. If you put it in late, you have to put it in order to do the response, so you get those 10 points, but you lose, I think it's, I can't even remember how many points, but you'll lose all the points for your initial response, regardless of how well it is written, if it is turned in late. Okay, please be sure to email me if you have any questions or concerns, and I wish you all the best with Module 3.